And we back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. Where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not gonna happen this video, but that's okay. I'm going to live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
What's poppin'? I am here. I am clear. I am happy. Like the video.
Yes. Like the video, and while you liking the video, subscribing to my channel, please subscribe to Mrs. Best as well. Her information is here as well as in my description box. Please subscribe to her because any reviews or recaps we don't cover on my channel, it's because we're covering on her channel. We have Love and Marriage, sorry y'all, Love and Hip Hop Miami, and we also have we're doing Surviving Mormonism on her channel. We have one more episode of that left, which is to be determined of when that's going to air. And then also we have what else do we have on your channel? I feel like I'm forgetting a show.
Housewives of Beverly Hills will be back next week. What else do I have? Love
Yeah.
and Hip Hop Miami. Surviving Mormonism is gone. There's probably some other stuff I'm forgetting, but you're
Oh,
fine.
Married at First Sight is gone. That's why that show's gone now. We
Yes.
did that show, so that show's now gone. So that was fun. That was a fun ride. I promise you guys, I've never seen that show before. I enjoyed it so much, so I can't wait for the new season to come back. I hope Mrs. Best consider covering it. Cannot speak today. So yes, because I enjoyed myself. I can't wait to see the new season. I wonder what city they're going to be in and all that. So
I had thought with City. They're filming right now, so
you saw the city?
yeah, and it's slipping my freaking brain. But I did see the city, and they're filming right now. And yes, we'll cover it again.
Yay! Okay, because I'm obsessed with that show now. I love the concept because I think it's actually kind of cool, and it's something if I were single, I would totally do. I would audition. I hope they do an LGBT special just to see if that will work better because I think it would.
That's what they need to do. That would be
Yeah.
smart. They probably get, in my opinion, with the LGBT community and what y'all got to go through. I feel like y'all have to go through more to find a person and just to date in general. So I
Yes.
feel like that community would take a process like this much more serious and be more like accountable in how they handle it. I just do.
Yes. Absolutely, I agree 100% with you. So yeah, this is the Braxtons. We're gonna do episodes 7 and 8 together because realistically, it didn't give a whole lot. Um, we have Tawanda's wedding. It is, basically her rehearsal, her wedding. It was all just, one big old show. I thought for the most part, it was a nice wedding. I will give her that. It was very nice. I thought the reception looked nice. I did see a few familiar faces. I had to send some text messages out. I'm like, I know y'all wasn't at that wedding, didn't say nothing, and didn't videotape me and send me some extra tea on the side. How dare y'all? So I had to send a couple of my friends some text messages that I have in Atlanta. I also saw my oh my god, my man crush. Like literally one of the reasons why I even wanted to go to Men in the first place. He was at the wedding as well. I ain't gonna give y'all his name, but yeah, I'm just gonna say I'll give y'all a clue if y'all can, and y'all have to go back and watch it. My man crush actually caught the gargle, so y'all can go back and see who that was.
I'm just gonna
Anyway,
confess ahead of time. I did not watch this episode yet, so I will be learning about stuff in real time as you go
mhm.
through this recap. I apologize. I could not find it, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, I'm just kind of giving the description of the wedding. It was nice. I didn't realize that Tony and Trina had on different colored dresses than the rest of the bridesmaids. It was really, or Lady of Honor, whatever the fuck she wants to call it. Lady of Honors. I thought that was strange. I was like, why make the color scheme? They all supposed to have the same title. Why make their dresses different? I don't know. I don't know why she went with that. Um, it was very nice. As I said, it was a cute wedding for the most part. Her son was not able to make it because he actually was graduating from the Navy that same day, so he wasn't able to make it. I did feel a way about that because I feel like for me, I would hate for my mom to schedule something that's very important to her on a day that she knew I couldn't be there. Like I would respect my mom if she would plan it on a different day, so I know to be there. That did make me feel away. So, Mrs. Best, I have to ask you: would you feel away if one of your parents scheduled a wedding on your graduation from college? We may have lost her again, you guys. I'm sorry. She's on vacation,
No,
rightfully.
I was muted and talking like a fucking idiot.
Oh,
Um, so I apologize. Did Tawanda plan a wedding during her son's graduation?
it was on the same day. So her son's graduation, which I'm
So she's a
sure.
horrible sister, a horrible daughter because she stole from her parents. She's a horrible person for attempting to rip apart Tracy's son from his only left living parent, who now that the son has left the show and is not dealing with Tawanda, he's back in contact with his dad and they're doing great and have a podcast. Tawanda's a horrible, vile, nasty, ball-headed bitch. And her body is everything, though. She is a
Oh yes,
Tawanda has always had a body to envy. And every horrible person has something positive we can say about them. But Tawanda is a shitty person where it counts with her family. To schedule a wedding, your second one. Please don't come and me talk about a second marriage, because in order to get a marriage, you have to have some type of a wedding. It may not be the one of your dreams, but you get one, even if it's in front of a judge. So to be willing to schedule a wedding around the time of your kid's graduation is crazy. And you say it's a college graduation, that's a once in a lifetime thing. That matters more to high school than me. That's crazy. And then in addition to it being on your son's graduation, you schedule it on your sister's birthday week or weekend. So I understand that weddings are supposed to be about you, the bride, right? You and your
mm-hmm.
spouse. That's what it's supposed to be about. So Wanda made this wedding about her, not about Sean and his weave, not about wanting to get her family together. She made this wedding about her and felt like one day that she really couldn't afford, because she owes somebody 30,000 and they're a listed creditor. And she better hope that she don't garnish your niggas' wages now that you married. Because if I was Tamar, I'd be that petty sister. But it doesn't make any sense for her to do all of this for a day, not even have your son there, and then your daughter had them horrible locks in her head.
Like Shani just said, "Hi, Shani. Thank you for being here." I don't understand.
She
She's
probably
such a
couldn't get her daughters to take that out of her head. I don't feel like her kids respect her the way that like Tony or Tamar or Tracy's kids respected her. I think Tawanda and Trina are the bad eggs. They say if you have enough kids, some of them will be bad eggs. You can do everything right, you can raise them all the same, and some of them will go do crazy stuff. I feel like Trina and Tawanda are the criminals of the family. We all got them.
damn. So, speaking of Trina, they had a family friend who was a doctor on the show, and she notices that Vaughn wasn't really responsive and had some difficulties breathing. So she told Trina to immediately take him to the emergency room. So Trina leaves the wedding so she could see about Vaughn, but didn't tell Tawanda that she did that. She only told Tony. So the reception is here, and Tawanda felt something was missing, but she couldn't put her finger on it. So when she looked at her family's table, she notices that Trina wasn't there. And Tony is shaken because she's like, I don't want to tell her and ruin her moment, because not all of us are here. Tracy is unfortunately not with us any longer. She disinvited Tamar to the wedding. So I'm kind of like, I don't want to tell her that now Trina had to leave too because of Vaughn. So she tells Tony to come here. And so Tony comes up to her and she's like, what's going on? Like, why are you so like jittery? And she goes, I'm not jittery. I'm okay. I'm okay. Like, Shana, do I look okay? And Sean says, yeah, you look fine. Tony, you look good. She goes, okay. And so she talks over to Miss E, and Miss E said, well, I'll just go tell her that Trina had to go take her. She goes, no, no, no. Let's wait till after the reception. After the reception, then we'll tell her. So Tawanda grabs Tony's hand and was like, no, something going on. What's going on? She goes, Trina had to go and take Vaughn to the emergency room, so she had to leave. And she goes, oh, well, that's okay. Like, if it were me, I would leave too. Like, no, that's fine. And as I said, the wedding went on. She tossed up okay. The man threw the girdle, and as I said, my crush ended up catching it. I know he got a girlfriend now, but still, like, and I'm taking as well. But I'm sorry, that's just some fine chocolate. It just is. So, anyways, we're gonna move on. So Tamar is about to, release her single and everything, and she's talking it over with her producers. And she pretty much tells them that that she wants this to be the single because she is ready for her Grammy. She says she's ready. And I said, go ahead, Tamar. Good luck to you. Her music is cool. I didn't watch her little short film that I need to catch up on. I'm still behind on it. Mrs. Best has seen it. And Mrs. Best, give us a small snippet of how good you thought it was. And you're on mute again if you need help with that. Okay, I'm hoping maybe something really is. Check. Okay.
I'm here. Did you ask for me? My sister had called me. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I was saying that about Tamar. She's putting together her album, and I still have not watched her short film. And I know you have watched it, so I just wanted you to tell the people how good you thought it was.
I thought it was great. I thought that she showed us that good R&B can still exist, especially after Summer Walker put out that bullshit ass album earlier this week. But Tamar's talented. Tamar needs to learn to shut the fuck up and just let her talent shine. She needs to be more
All
like
right.
Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah, we can't even confirm Queen Latifah really gay. We don't even know. We don't. Because she just lives her life and lets her talent and her art speak for herself, doesn't address the BS. I feel like Tamar needs to do that personally. But,
Ain't Queen Latifah married to a whole woman now?
yeah. And she pop out with her sometimes and people be like, huh? What? But I'm just saying, you wouldn't know. Like, she keeps her business very private. When we see or
Mm.
hear of her, she's only speaking of her career. And that's like from the 80s and 90s, from who you calling a bitch, all the way up into Khadijah, from living single to just right with Common. She is going to keep a check, stay booked and busy, which Tamar does. She's very talented, which Tamar is, but she don't have us all in her business.
I agree. Tawanda is a terrible mom for letting that baby wear that hair like that. I want her to let them dreads go. I just the color, the why is it white just right here? Why do you have a bang with it? Dreads ain't meant to have no bang. Like I don't understand
I
that.
get that kids want to express themselves, but when they express themselves the way her kids are expressing herself, I want to know what went on in Tawanda's household. Where's
Me
Andre?
too. No, those are Tawanda and Sean's
No, no,
children.
no. I want to know where Andre at.
Yeah,
Where
we
his
know
kids?
that.
Where is he?
I told her those are Tawanda and Sean's children. She pisses me off with that shit. You just gonna just completely discard Andre. Don't act like you were married to that man for 15 goddamn years. You just gonna
But
completely
that
just
shows how selfish she is. She only cares about, it seems like, money and herself. Her kids is a formality, how she be acting. So, because ain't no way,
mm,
as a black mom, you really allowed your daughter to even get her hair done like that in the first place. Doesn't make
yeah.
no sense.
And the doctor lady looked like that. She did. Oh my gosh, she did. I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but she sure did. The doctor that was on there. So then we move on. Tamar has the conversation with the medium. She advised her that she had met up with Tony. It was an off-camera moment. Which I already knew them two. Probably them two called each other the next day after that fight. It was all like, "Girl, what you doing?" Them two never can stay mad at each other. That's why I was like, "Tony, cut that shit out. You know you and Tamar is back cool." But she said that her and Trina are on board with doing a sisters retreat. So they're going to do a sisters retreat, which was a suggestion by one of the producers. So they both agreed to it. She said that Tawanda is not going to be able to make it because she's going to be on her honeymoon. Now, she said that's kind of short sighted because her and Tawanda have the bigger issue. So she doesn't know if there will ever be a time where her and Tawanda will be able to mend their fences since they have the bigger issue. And I agree with that. I felt like for me, I understand she had to go on her honeymoon. I and we had to wrap up this show. So it is unfortunate, but I hope they don't get a renewal to the Braxton season 3. They need to wrap this shit up. This was
Tawanda's
an
gonna
epic
fight
fail.
like hell for a renewal because, in my opinion, the only one who needs to check is Tawanda. Trina, Trina, I don't like Trina, and I don't want to comment on her because Trina supports child molesters, which makes her the same. But she could keep a job. She'll keep a job. We saw Trina go to University of Phoenix, graduate, become a business worker. We done seen her put out albums, make songs, open a bar, open a restaurant. Now she's in real estate. And I'm sure Trina is Letitia Pearson with a better wig. That's it. A better wig. A
Damn.
better, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. They don't need to come back. I think the show hangs on for Tawanda. I think that's why this whole season and the last season when they returned to us for the first time. In the first season, Tawanda had to have control of everything, brought up all the issues with Kevin and the family, and acted like her and Tamar was cool for the most part. Now in the second season, she realizes Tamar exposed her, and so now all we have to see is this wedding. But I love opening the comments everywhere from YouTube to WeTV so that Tawanda can see nobody gives a fuck about this wedding except the people who went. And some of them didn't even care and probably was there so that they could have somewhere to network.
I mean, she had a lot of the actors that be on Tubi up in there.
That's not a flex. That's
I
not a
recognize a
flex.
few of them. As I said, my crush was there.
That's
So I was like, yeah, okay, Tawanda, I see
that
you.
ain't no flex. When Tawanda gets even if it's like a 3-line role in a Netflix show, I respect her as an actress. But based on what I've seen, and I've seen 4 Tubi projects with her, and they weren't bad projects, but her acting made them bad. So that's all I'll say.
It was too many people in that wedding. It was. That was way too many groomsmen. That was way too many bridesmaids. I'm calling it
I
what it
feel
is.
like
They are
people
bridesmaids.
do that. I feel like the most effed up and messy people always have like huge weddings with hella groomsmen, hella bride. Like whenever people have weddings like that, people end up divorced before 10 years. The bigger the wedding, the quicker, and bigger the divorce.
I don't even know if I have 3 people to stand on. I know my groomsmen I do, but for my bridesmaids, I don't think I have. I have you, Chelsea, Simone
I'm a
Biles.
Gemini. I'm a Gemini, James. So with me, you've got like 4 bitches in one. That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's yeah. I think 3. I think it should be no more than 6. After 6, you're doing way too fucking much. Maybe lucky number 7 if you really want to do like an odd number, but yeah, and yeah, I just feel like yeah, because and then to me, I would have I have to have a maid and matron, and then an honorary matron of honor, which everybody knows. And my wedding will be Simone Biles if she accepts her invitation.
Well, I'm married. I've learned recently that apparently being married means I can never be a maid of honor. And so
Yeah, I'm the
people,
one who told you that.
I don't like that. No, not just you though. Like I was in a couple of weddings a couple years ago, and everyone always makes me matron of honor. And then you don't get to
Mhm.
do nothing because they're like, you're married. It's supposed to be for good
Yeah, it's
luck.
supposed to be the maid of honor. Yeah,
Yeah.
maid of honor. Mate, yeah, you're just supposed to give a speech, which I'm going to parlay it to my honorary matron of honor, Simone Biles, because that's the whole purpose of her being my honorary matron of honor. She always
Oh Lord.
gives a great speech. Like
She
I
needs to
have to
give
give that to
herself
her.
a speech about that husband.
Listen, I'm not finna go. I've already said what I had to say about that. We're gonna move on. We talking about the Braxtons. But anyways, y'all, let's move on. So it's now the day after Tawanda's wedding, and Vaughn and Trina meet up with the doctor who was at the wedding that actually paid attention to Vaughn's behavior. And apparently, Vaughn was not taking this really seriously. He knew something was wrong, but just decided to go to the wedding anyway. Typical black man. And he was at the wedding trying to order him a plate to go because apparently Tawanda at her wedding had fried fish and salad and shit. I said, see, Tawanda, this is why I can't take you serious. But he's not supposed to be eating fried food. So the fact that he ordered fried fish, she goes, you got to take this serious. Like, you need to get on a better diet plan. You can do this. Like, the doctor is really encouraging him to really, be better with his dieting and make sure that, he is exercising. If he recognizes something is wrong, he needs to seek immediate treatment. Like, I don't know why black people have to wait for something to fall off for y'all to actually go to the hospital. Like, I just don't. I will never understand that. Like, so yeah. Let me see what y'all saying in these comments. Shani over here blowing me up. I love you, Shani. See, I'm good. I don't need to spend all that money and all them people. I'm good with the courthouse and Sunday vacation for 2. You are my fiance. If I ain't never, I'm telling you. He said we are going to the courthouse and doing it if we decide to pick back up. I'm waiting till my knee heals, y'all, because I don't want to be on crutches on my wedding pictures. I don't. So once I'm fully healed and fully recovered, then I'm going to pick back up with planning out a day and time and everything like that. We're just waiting on me to heal. That's all we're waiting on. So yeah, but
You don't need
it's
to
going
be
to be
healed to get married. You just got to stand there.
I'm still on
Yeah.
crutches. I need to
Especially
be
if you
fully.
go to a courthouse, you may not even stand.
As I'm saying, because I know after the after party at whatever restaurant we end up at, gonna have some music. I'm gonna want to dance. So I need to be able to be fully recovered because I can't stand for very long right now currently. And then it's cold, and I'm feeling all of the screws in my knee right now. So no, I need to be fully healed, and I need to be at least spring where it's warmer, so that way I don't complain about my knees hurt. Okay, okay. Um,
Y'all need to just do it or don't. Y'all need to get married or don't.
look, I
Yeah,
got
that's what people be. I want to find love. I want to find love. And that's someone who's found it. I be looking like they find love. Because people be waiting on the
Thank you,
wrong
Shani.
things.
Thank you, Shani. She know what I'm talking about. That's why this is what I be talking about. I need a shit or get off the pot. I totally get that. But at least let me be in some stable condition. He and I have talked about this. I told him when I'm in stable condition, that's when we will do it. I'm not in stable condition right now. I need to get back to work. I have a lot to do. The wedding is the furthest thing from my getting married is the furthest thing from my mind right now. Me getting better. And I want to get down and drop it to the flow and everything. I
Not
can't drop
dropping.
it on
You
the
know
flow.
you ain't dropping shit to the flow. Oh Lord.
Yeah, you wait and see. Wait and see. Damn it. Anyways, so we then have a scene. Okay, what am I jumping to? Okay, no. Okay. So now it's the day of the retreat. Trina and Tamar get there first, and it's not awkward between the two of them. They begin talking and everything, and it seemed like they're cool. So I could tell they had a conversation beforehand as well. Tony gets there, and okay, sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, I did freeze. My computer did something crazy, but I am back. Sorry about that. Make sure I like the video. Shit happens. Yeah, I saw me freeze, y'all. I am so sorry. That just pissed me
Not in
off.
the Matrix.
Yeah, I did freeze. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, sorry. But anyways, so Tony and Trina told Tamar that yeah, she's on her honeymoon, so she can't be here. And Tamar said, "Oh no, she here. Let me go get her. Let me go get her." So this fool went back in the back and said, "Tawanda, come on." And Tony and Trina were like, "What is she doing? Like, what's going on?" This fool brings up a blow up doll with not even Tawanda's face on it. It was just a regular blow up doll that has the mouth open. So she stuck like pretzels and carrots and shit in her mouth. Hey, yes, I say, see, that's Tawanda. Now, both Tony and Trina died laughing, but it was good because it was a nice warm up for, them to get it together, like them to be sisters. So it was a good moment. They had a good laugh and good kiki. And Tamar was making fun of Tony because she was eating a biscuit with a fork and a knife. And Tamar said, girl, you married to Bird, man. You don't need to do all that. And Trina's like, are we supposed to be talking about that? Because I guess at this point, nobody knows that Tony and Birdman are married at this point. And Tamar said, I wasn't the one that put it out there. It's out there now. So Tony does not deny or confirm that she is married. She's saying that she's keeping her life private, which we know in today's time.
Get off TV. Why did y'all come on a reality show just be like, hell, I thought we weren't talking about it? Like, what? Talk about it. I don't understand. He was on the show at one point.
Wasn't. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know if she's just ashamed to be married to him or she's married to him with like ulterior motives. I don't know what it is, but if you married to him, just say you married. Like, I don't understand why you would hide that from us. So
because they broke up a cajillion times, and then right after she got married, she filed for divorce like days later, and then ended up staying married. So I can understand the embarrassment, but I mean, grow up, Tony. You're 57 years old. You married a man who's 60 something years old. You know, he's a little strange, but Tony's a little strange. Like, it's weird to me to try and keep your union a secret, because at the end of the day, no shade to Tony Braxton or Birdman. Birdman's doing well. He's always going to be wealthy and find a way to, you know, work with different artists, stuff like that. But like, no one really, after that, put some respect on my name thing. We still laughing at that. We don't fully take them too as serious as they think. I'm still thinking of him saying the 99, 2000, and we're still singing Breathe Again from 1990 something. So I'm like, y'all are not Beyonce and Jay-Z. You could have told people and we would have moved on quickly.
We would have laughed about it, saying Tony way too pretty, but you know, it is what it is. So moving on from there.
Birdman was handsome though.
When?
He's handsome back in the day. It's just he ruined his face with them tattoos. If you go to like NOLA, the areas where his mom and stuff was from, or even just looking at pictures and interviews from him like back in the day, at one point he was somewhat handsome, but he ruined his face with drugs and tattoos. Bless his heart.
That's another thing. Men out there, straight men, gay men, whatever you like, stop putting tattoos on your face. That is not cute. I don't know who told y'all that is cute. I don't know who told y'all to do that. That is not cute. I used to work with him, and I remember he was so handsome. And then I come back to Phoenix and he has tattoos all over his face. I said, what the fuck did you do? And why did you do it? Oh, yeah. So that is, please stop doing that, man. That is not cute. I don't care who told you it was cute. It's not. Your daughter's name don't need to be on your face. It need to be on your chest somewhere like it used to be back in the day. But that is not, I'm not going to be with a man with a tattoo on his face. I'm just not going to do it. So yeah, that's that. I just have to get it off my chest because that's the least attractive thing you can do. Very least attractive. Anyways, y'all, we ain't talking about that. So the ladies, you know, they do a yoga session. They do sound bowls. It's very cute. You know, they're being sisters. And then we have another dinner conversation that comes up. Now, the dinner conversation talks about the whole blow up that they had when it was just the four of them. Tamar says that her intention was never for it to get to that point. Her intention was to find out information because, to her knowledge, her sisters were the one that sent the cease and desist, to her knowledge in this time. So she asked Trina, did she send the cease and desist? And Trina said no. She said, did the family attorney contact your attorney? And she said, yes, I did give him my attorney's information. I did. And she said, well, did you give him my address? And Trina immediately denies this. And she asked Tony, did you give the man information? And Tony said, I never knew you were going to be served. Now I said, Tony, that's not saying no. And y'all already know my theory on it. I said, it's now changed, but at the time I said, I feel like Tony paid for it. I feel like she paid for the consultation. And I feel like, you know, we understand that allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because I don't know what to believe, but allegedly it was the brother. Now we're finding out that Trina did have a hand in it, allegedly. Again, Tamar put that on social media. So now I don't know what to believe anymore. I just feel like they all did it, which is still fucked up no matter how you slice it. It is still fucked up. So now that we didn't squander that, Tamar apologizes to Tony for saying that she had a part in it. She said that it was never her intention to blame you. It was just that she didn't know who did it. And nobody was saying anything. Nobody was saying, no, I didn't do it. Everyone was trying to make me look crazy. So she apologizes to Tony. She then turns to Trina and said that, because Trina's waiting for her apology for Tamar pulling her hair and then kicking her. And Tamar said, well, you put your hands on me first, and that caused me to push you. I did not mean to react towards that. It was between me and Tony. And Trina said, no, I did not touch you. I did not touch you. It went from in the scene saying, I did not touch you, to her confessional saying, I did not hit Tamar. And Tamar says, Trina, you're saying right now you didn't touch me. She goes, no, I did not touch you. She said, Trina, I'm giving you a chance right now to say you did touch me. She goes, no, I did touch you. So she goes, do you want to see the footage? And Trina said, yeah, pull out the footage. So one of the producers brings over a laptop and Trina asks Tamar, have you already seen this, Tamar? Tamar ignores her and Tamar starts playing the footage. She said, Tamar, have you seen this footage? Tamar ignores her again. She said, Tamar, I'm talking to you. Did you already see this? And Tamar ignores her. So Trina decides to break the fourth wall and says, OG, did Tamar see this footage before she plays it now? And OG confirms that nobody has seen this footage. This is the first time in real time that you'll be watching it. And she goes, okay, well, I don't know why Tamar couldn't answer me. And she says, because Trina, we want to see the footage. So they play the footage and it's long. It's like, I think I said it's somewhere around 4 to 6 hours long. So they're fast forwarding it, trying to get to the part. And they say, and you saw where Trina kind of stood in between them both. And she kind of touched Tamar first. And Tamar said, boom, there it is right there. And she asked Trina specifically, why did you get in between me and Tony? And Trina said, because you got in Tony's face and I'm not going to let you fight Tony. And Tony pipes up and said that we were in each other's faces. And Tamar said, thank you, Tony. And she goes, well, what's the problem? She said, because you didn't see that Tony got up in my face first and everything. You just immediately went to me and put your arm around me. Like, you shouldn't even have gotten involved because I wasn't going to hit Tony. I wasn't going to do anything to Tony. Tony and I never had a fight in our lives. I wasn't going to hit her. And she goes, I didn't say you were going to do it. She said, you just said that you were protecting me from Tony. And you weren't going to, and this is my problem with the tape, and I'm glad that she pointed this out because I felt like nobody was really saying this. It wasn't until Tony said we were in each other's face that they were going to automatically make Tamar the bad guy. And this is a perfect example of this, y'all. This is what she's saying. But see, everybody looks at how loud Tamar is. Everybody looks at how belligerent and how over the top she could act. But nobody wanted to point the finger at Tony and say that Tony was the one who got up first and got in Tamar's face. I'm glad that Tony spoke up in the moment, but I wish Tony would have spoke up at that exact moment. Because in the exact scene, Tawana's like, let's press charges, knowing that if the police were to look at this footage, they would have saw that Tony was the aggressor first. And Tony probably would have had a case before Tamar. So, Mrs. Bess, now that I've explained the scene, my question to you is, do you think that like society would have ran with that narrative too had Tony not spoke up and said, I got in Tamar's face as well? Do you think society would have automatically labeled Tamar as the aggressor?
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're on TV or in the public eye, you have to be very careful with how you conduct yourself. And this is what Tamar has yet to learn. Because no shade to all of the audience. I'm not trying to say that your feelings and your biases against Tamar are not valid, but they definitely lack a lot of critical thinking. Because you should be able to look past, if you are emotionally mature and properly think, you should be able to look past the fact of her delivery and look toward the deflecting, the lies, the protection of a child predator, the taking it too far with legal, like everything that they did is shit that would warrant a reaction like that from Tamar. The problem is Tamar always responds like that. So when she does give that reaction, it don't hold the same weight as it would if someone like Tony were to do it. So I I see online a lot of people saying this, and I've seen a couple people pointing out just because Toni Braxton has been in our faces since the 90s and she is a living legend and a superstar. If we pay attention to the fact that her sisters love to up Toni, but they never up Tamar. They'll uplift each other. They'll never uplift Tamar, though. So, though people are quick to look at Toni like she's innocent, Toni had her fucked up. And Toni knows she had her sister fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Toni is admitting that she was wrong has also admitted, even before she snapped on Tamar, that the stuff that Tamar was alleging was the truth. Just lets me know, like, Tamar needs to just walk away because the
Mm-hmm.
audience is ignorant. Her sisters are ignorant. Everybody is so committed to looking at her screaming that they're not paying attention. This time she's actually screaming for a reason. And now that we know this family has a history of keeping all sorts of secrets, who knows what other secrets they kept that could have impacted Tamar? And people love to ignore that Tamar talks about how she was touched on and assaulted as a child, and the family knew, and no one supported her. It sounds like that's when she became a problem because they can never say, oh, even as a kid, Tamar was this. They always speak about like when she was older and into like young adulthood. So Tony's not innocent. And I think that's a good point you bring up because she'll always get passes even when she does fuck shit. But
Mm-hmm.
Toni is also accountable when she does fuck shit. So when you're accountable afterward, but then you have someone like Tamar who takes a long time, it makes you forget that, oh, the person who's already been accountable and is calm is also the person who started all of this bullshit. But,
Mm.
it is what it is. The sisters praise Toni in an unhealthy way. I think the whole family does. You could tell that this
Yep.
family, when Toni got on, viewed her as a meal ticket. And because Toni was discovered singing with her sisters, I think that their family operates in a I owe you this because you're family, or I owe you that because we're blood. But it's like just because you're related to someone doesn't mean you owe them shit. But no one
Mm.
wants to talk about that, especially the black community.
So speaking of this, because I got a Facebook notification from somebody. It's being alleged that Tawanda Braxton reportedly expressed her frustrations to the WeTV producers, learning that Tamar and Toni were being paid significantly more for the Braxtons revamp series. She's alleging that she's only received $250,000 for her role, and that's before taxes, while Toni and Tamar secured a much higher payout. And it's being said that Tamar hired a lawyer to negotiate her return, and Toni negotiated higher compensation as well, leading to, you know, different salaries. So I thought that was very interesting. And since we're talking about them, and this is all allegedly, I haven't seen the interview yet, so I can't speak on it too much, but I just thought it was interesting. So, Mrs. Spence, I have to ask you a question because that was something I'm just laughing at in my head. Do you think that they should all be paid equally for the show?
No, no.
I also think
Can you
that as
hear
well.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Here's the thing. The thing of it is, Tawanda, if you want to be paid more for the show, you could have negotiated. You don't get to find out my sisters are making more than me, and then go to productions and be like, why is my sister making more than me? This is not okay. Like, grow up, Tawanda.
I thought that
And
was
the other
interesting.
thing, the person whose production company is giving you a platform, the person who's giving you the platform through their production company, you also owe them money. So, if anything, you should have got a lower salary because you admit to owing Tamar that money and it's listed on your creditor stuff. If I was you, Tawanda, I go to my sister and be like, can we negotiate something to where you let my creditors know I fulfilled paying you back or something to help my credit? And that come out the salary or something. Like, Tawanda's not worthy of that. The fact that she got $250,000, girl, you're lucky because for what? Nobody's interested by you. And you prove to the network that you're not worth paying after this season, not because of her actions with the sisters, but just off of the simple fact that Tawanda is boring and always has been. Even when she was broke with pigtails, I didn't care to see her story. She's always been kind of boring. Some people just are not for TV. Some people are not interesting. And like I said online, thank you to the 1,500 people that have liked my comment on WeTV's The Braxton Show when they showed this weeks ago. Tawanda is and will always be, in my opinion, the least entertaining Braxton.
There you go. She
Just
said
never
it, y'all.
cared for her.
Yeah. So
But
yeah.
go ahead, Tawanda. Good luck. Good luck with that money, because the network can now come back if you do get another season and say, well, the fans didn't like you, so we have to show less of you. So unless you make peace with Tamar, we're not paying you shit. And if we do pay you something, you're going to get that $250K that you was crying about. Pay your
Here's the
taxes, boo.
thing. Tamar, drop them and pick up your own show, because I guarantee you will be watched over them. Just saying. But anyways, y'all, so as Tamar called out Trina, because now that Tony has spoken up finally, she says, I was wrong to put my hands on you. I should not have done that. And can you receive that? Now, at first, Trina didn't want to receive that because Tamar asked her, can you admit that you put your hands on me as well? And Trina said, no, I didn't put my hands on you, even though we just saw the footage and even though we just saw you do that. But I think Trina is conflicted with Tamar's meaning probably that she hit her versus touching her. Now, Trina, you did touch her. We all saw it, regardless if it was a tap, regardless of if you just meant to get in between them. She says you touched her and you did. It's the literal thing. Now, did you hit her? No, we all could see that. But you did touch her. And I'm sorry, y'all, in fights, any small gesture can look like something when you heighten in the moment. So it could have been to Tamar that maybe you did hit her. You don't know. Like, it was between her and her older sister. Why you jump in the middle of it? And where I'm from, when you jump in the middle,
person. I just don't understand, Trina. If you was gonna jump in to stop a fight, you should have been only stopping Tony.
Right.
Tamar had her readers out, her receipts out. She was ready to read you off her filth, literally off of a piece of paper. Don't touch nobody. If you see, I'm like that. If you touch me when I'm mad,
Yeah.
and I'm telling people don't touch me, leave me alone, or you see that something's heightened and you get smacked or whatever, I don't give a fuck. Don't touch me when I'm mad.
But I think that's how we grew up, though. Like, when you really think about it, like the people
These
who
girls
jumped
are
into
from
the fight,
Baltimore. They know that. They from
I don't know
Baltimore.
what they
They
do
know
in
that.
Baltimore. I just know when you jump in the middle of a fight, you asking to get hit. That's just me.
Yeah.
I never jumped in the middle
Yeah.
of a fight. Like, even though I did take that risk with some of y'all in high school. Not all of y'all. Some of y'all, I just let y'all fucking fight. But some of y'all, I did get in between, and some of y'all recognize it's me. Y'all know not to hit me, so y'all don't do it. But some of y'all have us in high school. I let y'all fight. I'm not getting in the middle of that. I'm sorry. There's some of y'all. I was like, yeah, don't fight. It's gonna be all right. Don't do nothing. But then some of y'all say, oh no, y'all ain't finna scrabble me like a piece of paper. I'm sorry, y'all ain't finna do all that. So yeah, I just felt like that's old school. Like you're right. They're from Baltimore. They should know this. But yeah,
They know
so
that. They absolutely know.
yeah, so since they couldn't come into an agreement, directly, they just said, well, Tamar's like, well, I'll just let it go. Can you let it go, Trina? And Trina said, yeah, I can let it go. Hi, Mel NYC Reviews. I have not seen you in such a long time. Welcome back to my channel. It ain't worth watching. It really ain't. You did
It's
yourself a
not.
favor.
It's gonna
It's
piss
not
you
worth
off
watching.
now.
It really is. It really
Toxic.
is. It just is. So we're gonna move on, y'all. So the next scene we have after they decided to let it go, they had a good laugh, a good kiki, and then it's the next day where they're kind of done with the retreat. They did work on their sisterhood, and from what we understand, that Tamar does wish that Tawanda was there so they can at least try to have something salvageable. But she says that at this point, she doesn't know where their relationship is going to lie. And pretty much, everyone kind of gives their last episode goodbyes, and that was pretty much it. That's all. It was nothing. It was just not even worth a season. Like, they need to scrap this show. We get it. We thought we were coming into the Braxtons with Braxton family values teas, and that's not what we got. We got vengefulness. We got upsetness. This is not what Tracy wanted. I'm sorry, y'all are not going to convince me that Tracy wanted y'all to be at odds, to fight each other, to be arguing, stopping. If Tracy was alive, Trina, you wouldn't be able to get away with what you getting away with, I'm sure. As much as Tracy loved her brother's children and how mad she was when that sister passed away, I could only imagine what Tracy would have been like hearing her niece go through what she went through. I'm sorry, y'all. So yeah, y'all can play on her name all y'all want to. I hardly doubt she would have stood for this. So that's pretty much it, y'all. Anything else you want to add, Mrs. Best?
No, I'm glad it's over.
All righty. Well, with that being said, y'all, thank you so much. Tamar interview had be interesting in watching. Thank you for saying that. You know, honestly, she wasn't really as involved again this season. The only thing that realistically was the very catchphrase moment in this was her fight between her and Tony, her and Trina, her and Tawanda. That was the only thing that was really worth watching. And to me, the only reason why I say it was worth watching is because it was very sad to watch. It was really sad to watch these remaining four sisters be at this kind of odds. A lot of tea was spilled. Like, I did not know that Tamar put down Tawanda's down payment on her new house when she got a whole nother fucking man, and he could have did it. So that's all I'm saying. So it was some good things in there, but it wasn't, as a season, I would have scrapped it. I wouldn't even have played it. It would have got played on All Black for people who have that app. I wouldn't have put it on my network. I just wouldn't. But yeah, not just man talking about air fryers, Lord Jesus. Anyways, Mrs. Best, anything else you want to add before we end the live?
No, that was about it. You did the Lord's work.
Yeah, I try to hang on with this shit. Mrs. Best wanted me to do this show. I was so apprehensive about it, and I love my best friend dearly. But if it had not been for her, y'all wouldn't have got this shit. I promise you. So y'all can thank her. If y'all really wanted me to do the Braxtons, y'all can thank her for this, because I really was not about to do this, and I'm mad that I did it, but I'm glad that I did it, if that makes sense. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for being here. This is it. We'll see if the Braxtons get a season 3. I will announce if I will recap it on my show, on my channel. If it does, I probably will not, but we'll see. So yeah, it's crazy. It's not the same Braxtons we saw 10 years ago. It's just not. It's not even close. So we thank you guys. Once again, be safe out there. Have a great weekend. Mrs. Best, enjoy your vacation, even though I'm going to bug you some more. But thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.